Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi. It's Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. As we take a broad look at what's going on around the country today, a little bit more winter weather activity showing up. We've got advisories up for the Central Plains and on up through the Central Rockies, and that extends into southern Montana. So technically, there it's the Northern Rockies. And we've got a few winter storm warnings that are going on in parts of that area, just a handful of counties that you see in the salmon color. Winter weather advisories from northeast Missouri across much, but not all of northern Illinois to about Chicago, and then you jump to the Indiana side, and we've got winter storm watches for northern Indiana, northwest Ohio, and for southeastern Michigan. The Weather Service has actually kind of pushed that winter storm watch line further south based on what some of the models have been doing over the last 24 hours. New winter storm watches are up for southwestern New York, north central and northeastern New York, eastern Vermont, northern New Hampshire, and northern Maine. And that is going to be for what's coming up for Wednesday night and for Thursday. We've seen a bit of a change overnight, of course, with clouds that have rolled in. Most areas are overcast and temperatures are in the 40s. There are a few upper 30s in some of the cooler spots in the Hudson Valley, but it's mostly low and middle 40s as of the 8 o'clock hour. And you can see the wind barbs here from southern Pennsylvania southward into Maryland and Delaware. Most of the winds are coming in from the east or the east southeast. Same holds true for New Jersey, although the winds are on the light side. But it's that ocean flow today that's going to hold temperatures down just a bit. So it's going to be, I guess you might want to call it a rather raw day in most places. I don't think we're going to see much in the way of sun, and we're going to be brushed by areas of rain. Some areas will be brushed more than others. Now, looking ahead, I just want to point out for tomorrow, and this is mainly for later tomorrow night, as a second low develops. The Storm Prediction Center has a general risk of thunderstorms. Joe Rayo and I talked about this last night on the Joe and Joe Weather Show. That maybe we might see a little bit of lightning and thunder with this Wednesday night as a low goes by to our west and warm air tries to come up the eastern seaboard. They are indicating also a marginal risk for severe weather over Virginia and a small portion of north central North Carolina. Also, general thunderstorms for southeast Georgia and down in Florida. We're going into March, and as you would normally expect, the severe weather season is going to pick up, and I think it may pick up actually in a strong way once we get into that first week of March. Now, as far as snow is concerned, going forward, we've got the snow forecast map for the Northeast and for the Midwest. We'll get to that in a second, but just want to show you here on the U.S. satellite loop. We've got these clouds that are streaming up northeast. There's a lead low that is moving into the lower Ohio Valley that is just going to weaken and center jump. There'll be a new low that'll form in West Virginia, and then maybe another low forms off the New Jersey coast. So that's going to keep things rather cloudy and on the raw side. And again, we'll get these patches of rain. And then you see the twisting and turning that's going on back in through Kansas and Nebraska, and throwing clouds back into Colorado and Wyoming and parts of Montana and the Dakotas. So that's that second system that is going to impact the weather here from Northeast Virginia to southern New England for Wednesday night and for Thursday. Now, as far as snow is concerned, and this is through Friday morning, it pretty much is going to be the same story that it has been for the last couple of months. Along and north of I-90 in upstate New York, north central, northeastern New York, there, we could see some sizable amounts, and there's going to be some lake effect that's going to come into play here off Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, and also for southwestern New York and along the lake shores in northwest West Pennsylvania. Otherwise, the southern extent of the snow really doesn't go very far, and there might be, because of the way the lake effect is setting up in the upper trough, that we could see some snows down into West Virginia and even into westernmost Virginia. Not much, according to an inch or so. And the Weather Service has kind of cut back on the amounts here across Illinois, Chicago, cutting it back to about 4 or 5. Detroit still at the prospect of getting 7 or 8. The heaviest snow, northeastern Indiana, northeastward into southeastern Michigan. I think that makes total sense. And with respect to rainfall over the next couple of days, I'm thinking that it's really going to be on the order of um, uh, pretty much in between a half an inch and an inch of rain between now and Thursday morning. Not seeing this being any real big deal as far as rainfall is concerned. So just watching the weather models this morning, looking at again, we get a little patchy rain here and there. This is at 1 o'clock at noon today. You're seeing a little bit of rain that moves across Maryland and into southeastern Pennsylvania through New Jersey and Long Island. Some areas will probably get away with not seeing much of anything if you go north and west of Philadelphia by a fair distance and north and west of New York City. Probably not going to see too much from this first system. You see that low offshore. And of course, with the position of that low the way it is, the winds primarily here are going to be coming in from the east, and that holds temperatures down. Here's where your cold air is, and that's where the models are indicating some snow, and that develops tonight into tomorrow. Chicago seems to be right on the northern fringe of it now, as the low is a little bit further southeast. You still wind up with a low that goes into western Pennsylvania. I don't expect much of anything to happen tomorrow in terms of precipitation. It'll just be a rather cloudy day. Winds will be east and southeast and then gradually go around to the south. Wednesday night, as that low starts to strengthen, this is where we could see that chance for some heavy downpours and perhaps a rumble or two of thunder. Then the low moves up to our north on Thursday. A lot of snow on the northwest side, and on the west side as that lake effect also starts to kick in. That lasts into Friday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 3 cold, dry days with sunshine and daytime highs in the 30s and nighttime lows that'll probably be down in the teens and 20s. So it's pretty much a wash, rinse, repeat type of weather pattern that we're in. Nothing is changing. If we looked at the models, look at the models long range, particularly in the upper air, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that is changing or leads us to believe that perhaps we could wind up with opportunities for snow in the first part of March. We are getting these shots of cold air. They come in for 2 or 3 days and then they move out, and that's it. Unless you time something to come along while you've got some cold air around, you're not going to see a flake or an ice pellet. I've been saying this for a while now. I think we're pretty much done. Anything that pops up now would be, really out of the ordinary, considering the scope of the overall pattern. So let's start thinking about March and those nice, warm, spring-like days like we just had. All right, Weather in 5 is done. Went a little long today. Sorry about that. Let's get you out the door and get going on this Tuesday. And the Joe and Joe Weather Show tonight at 7 o'clock on YouTube. So be sure to tune into that. And download the free weather app, the meteorologist Joe Cioffi weather app on Google Play or on the App Store. Angry Ben's weather app, the Angry Weatherman, available on Google Play. All of that is for free. Have a great day, everybody.